Yeah, hello and welcome to this video. Yeah, this is an entirely new format that I'm excited about. I try to do something different here. What I've done in the past is I've did those videos for solving tactical puzzles. Yeah, with on various platforms. I used I think chess.com. I've used chess tempo, these kind of things. Now I want to do something different, and you see the thing here on the left hand side, middle game strategy. I want to do positions that are more of a strategic nature, and want to solve them or try to solve them, and share my thoughts how I'm going to do it. I will also move the pieces around a little bit, what you normally don't do, but I think it makes it a little bit more accessible. So how do I get those positions? I'm not really aware of an online site where you can get randomized, strategically focused positions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a book, at least for the first video. I can maybe use others later. I use the Grandmaster Preparation book, Positional Play, by Grandmaster Orgard. These are really difficult problems, and they it has 150 exercise positions, and I use those positions sometimes in my own lessons, but I used mostly the first 20 to 30. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to basically get a random number on my mobile, and this will then select what position I get. So between number 30 and number 150, and then we'll put it on and try to solve it. Yeah, I mean, I have to do it like that, otherwise it looks like I'm cheating. So 30, 150, yeah, are the, you see that? Maybe you don't. So I'm generating a number now, and it's 134. See that? 134. So I'm going to go to position 134 and put that on and see what happens. Yeah, those are difficult, so you can easily embarrass yourself. 134 from a game Van Veli Lecco, Moscow 2004. So let's set up the position. Let's see, it's not a position that it's like basically almost an opening position. Yeah, I'm sorry, this takes a bit of time, but otherwise it looks a bit strange. I have to do it with this random, otherwise it looks really weird. So I have this. I think this is the position. It's black to play. Orientation black. Let me see. I don't want to put up a wrong position and then completely make an ass out of myself. So this is the position. Of course, I mean, we have an engine here in Lichess, but of course I'm not going to use that. So let's have a look. We have a position here that really looks like we've just we are basically in the opening stages. Probably it was some sort of Nimzo or Catalan, maybe Bogo Indian thing. It's yeah, black has the queen on h5. It's a bit unusual. Yeah, we have C and D pawns traded. And black has a knight on c6. That's also uncommon. Yeah, you oftentimes don't have the knight in front of the pawn. What is also remarkable is the position of the white queen on d3. This is also somewhat uncommon. Yeah, not so easy. Yeah? Black's supposed to have a good solution here. It does not mean, by the way, with those exercises that the side we are looking for is winning the game with it, but just find the correct way of continuing. So what am I thinking about? Both sides have not castled. This is also interesting. The first move that springs to my mind is castling long, yeah? Opposing rook on d8 against the queen on d3. That's something that comes to my mind. That also threatens knight takes d4 on a purely tactical base. This is actually already a little bit annoying because there's also e5 here. So just to show you, I'm thinking about long castling. And now I'm threatening to take on d4. I mean, I can do this in my mind. I don't need to move the piece, but I think it's better because it should be some kind of discussion of the position. It's me solving it, but also trying to solve it, but also showing you what I'm thinking about. So long castles threatens to take as the bishop is unprotected on g2. And if white decides to castle here, e5 comes into consideration, like castling and then e5. With the pin here, this is something worth looking at. And d5 I can take and grab d5. Long castles looks normal, let's say. A natural candidate move. What could be a drawback of long castles? Currently I don't really see it. It makes sense to check some strategic points of this position. For example, pieces, good pieces, bad pieces. One thing that really is kind of obvious is that if you castle long, the white queen is not well placed on d3. The d4 pawn is also slightly weak due to this knight on c6 and this pinning business. When you castle long here, you already threaten to take on d4. So what is white going to do? Long castles, maybe a3. Bishop takes, pawn takes, something like this. If he goes here, that could be an idea. So that after capturing the b pawn will take. Knight takes d4 doesn't... Wait, knight takes d4. Yeah, knight takes d4 I think doesn't quite work. Like here, the queen here is also attacked. That doesn't work. I think I can take this. That might actually work tactically. I don't think I want to take. Yeah? This looks weird. On the other hand, after a3, you can also just consider bishop e7 and keep everything intact. I mean, I think that also would work. Okay, but let's not focus on long castling exclusively. It looks completely normal, but I think the main problem for white here is weakish d-pawn, queen on d3, and the unprotected g2 bishop. So long castles looks completely correct. Is there something else? We should try to check out if the opponent has some sort of threat that we're missing. queen on h5. Maybe is there something I don't see anything great that white can try. If we castle long and he castles short, then e5 is just good, right? Yeah, it's just a good position. What is the draw? Is there a drawback to long castles? It looks a little bit simple, and those exercises usually are damn difficult. Not all of them, but most of them are. Is there something else that I'm missing? Is there something better, maybe even? Yeah, well. Don't really see it, to be honest. I mean, you can, theoretically speaking, try other completely different approaches in this position, but they don't look logical, really. Yeah, they're not good. Things like, let's say, bishop takes c3, white recaptures, queen f5, trying to, yeah, just to show what I'm saying here. This kind of thing can be interesting. There is an opening line that has exactly this idea, so that after capturing, black can try to clamp down on those squares. If you actually have time with black to sort your pieces, then this could work, but here this looks like, it looks awful. Cannot take. I mean, this maybe you can play, but I don't know. Takes knight h4. Yeah, this also looks wrong. Yeah, to take on c3 looks wrong in this position. I wonder if there is some other idea to exploit the long diagonal. Yeah, this pinning situation, but I don't quite see it. You can, you know what you can think of is e5. This is definitely something to check. E5 immediately. Knight takes e5, knight takes e5. This queen is queen b5. E5 looks fishy. Looks really fishy. I would probably just castle long. What is the big deal with it? So let's check. Does white threaten anything? I don't see it. What about weaknesses? Does black have weaknesses? c6, b7. And this is also vulnerable. But there is simply no move. I mean, the knight would have to move, but it cannot do that after castling long. A move that... No. I was just thinking queen a5 for bishop a6. But that's ridiculous, really. I'm just trying to see if I miss any other candidate move that is relevant here. I don't see it. I think at e5, I was thinking that this might even work. This and this. I don't think it works. On a king move, b7 hangs. And, I don't see a move. b7 is always hanging. And here, that cannot be great for black. b4 also hangs, and probably less relevant. So e5 doesn't seem to work. And what else is there? I mean, if we ignore long castles, this move is also something that, strategically speaking, I would find okay, because I mean this increases this control, and in some cases you can take on c3, put pieces on the light squares, but compared to long castles this looks really lame. So what is the deal? Is there a move that I'm missing here? This is really a bit curious. e5 is the threat. Maybe maybe white, yeah, maybe this a3 move, in fact, yeah, that this is critical. Yeah, but knight takes, I think it works. I mean this. It is a bit weird. I'm just wondering, that's queen a6 in some cases. Yeah, it's still a pretty strange line. I don't think it should work for white. Like, let's say take, and now queen a6, there's bishop b7, so I can try to trap this, but it would be very weird. Yeah, queen a6 is a threat. It's not like it's completely ridiculous. But I can also go back. I mean, just this should still work. Yeah, castles, e5. Yeah, maybe d5 now. Yeah, that is possible. Even though at least e4 is at least working. I mean, it feels to me like I'm somehow too superficial here and I don't quite get it. E5 is very substantial. Maybe maybe white can move the queen somehow out of the d file. It can still take. Can still take him. Yeah, this is a fork. Yeah, cannot believe it. I would castle long here. Yeah, so I think I'm going to check the solution. It doesn't feel like, somehow it doesn't feel like I've got it, yeah, in some way. But you cannot sit there for half an hour. I'm curious what the solution is. Yeah, it is just long castle. So I was correct there. Long castles. Yeah, so that was actually not that difficult, yeah, long castling. looking at the weakness, and yeah, so castles long. It was also played. Short castles was the reply. Knight b5 is a move mentioned here in the notes to hang on to the pawn. It's not a move that I saw. Maybe it's not a move that you necessarily have to see. a6 is given here. Knight a7, knight a7, bishop takes, knight c6, and again e5. Yes, and black is using his superior development. And after castles there is e5. Yes, and that was also my main line, thinking that this should work. After e5, when Veli played rook ac1, and Leko took it. So this is what is in the book. However, it's oftentimes interesting to check what the computer says. So let's switch it on. It gives long castles as the best move. Okay. And then it gives black already a good advantage. The move a3 was something that I wasn't totally sure about. I was thinking I might even be able to return, but the computer wants to take. Yeah, this wasn't totally clear. Yes, so it takes. Yeah, the computer, have a look. Yeah, the computer actually thinks that this is okay for white. I had a really bad feeling about this, and it is in fact good for white in some way. Interesting. So my hunch wasn't bad there. I was also thinking I might be able to just retreat. Castles, e5, d5, e4 is one of the computer lines. Okay, here I thought, okay, I should be okay, which is true. There is something better though. Yeah, sometimes if you have an idea like long castles and you're not totally sure about the odd line, sometimes to just be sure that you are okay with something simple is really helpful. Like here. Okay, taking is of course the other principal move, and then play e5. Yeah, indeed, that doesn't look bad. Like this and e5 immediately. There's still this threat of capturing twice, yeah? Yeah, okay. So that was, compared to what sometimes you see in those books, pretty okay. Yeah, I did not make a complete fool out of myself. Let me just put this in, and I think I'm going to do a second one. That was interesting. Let's do a second one. Going to generate a new number. It's 118. Yeah, 118. By the way, it might happen that I know the odd position, and then of course I will do a new dice roll. 118, Sokolov, Mamedyarov. It's also a position that feels like only shortly after the opening. And we look for black again. Yeah, I'm not really quick with the board setup, but I'm happy if I'm not making a mistake. So is this. Okay, the rook is here, here. Knight there, and black to play. Is this correct? That looks correct. Orientation black. Okay, so engine off. I didn't see anything. Yes. Okay, so black to play. Yeah, it's correct. And yeah, the engine, I mean, it showed some kind of advantage for black. It also indicates that it was kind of, it is the right position. Yeah, it is the right position. Okay, so black to play. Interesting. Black in this position could just take on f3. I mean, just grab the pair of bishops. Did I mention that it's Ivan Sokolov against Mamedyarov? Villa Robledo 2008. I think that is a rapid tournament, Villa Robledo. So black could just take f3 and be reasonably happy with the pair of bishops. After queen takes, yeah, like this is the super simple thing. And maybe b7 is hanging. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to play c6 here. I think that looks a bit weak here, this pawn. And rook b8 is also not super comfortable. I mean, okay, knight takes f3 should not be a terrible move. It's just not clear that it is anywhere near the best move. I can tell you what I thought right away. I mean, just my first instinct is to check out c5, attack this knight, and you can now pretty easily calculate some lines. I mean, the knight must move. There is no counter attack that white can do. This you can, I think, completely rule out. Yeah. So knight cannot go to e2. So knight c2 or knight b5 are the moves that should be checked. Yeah, and now if you go to c2, which is probably not the critical one, but let's say you do it, then you take bishop tempo. Yeah, now knight d5, knight d5, knight takes d5, no, knight takes d5, bishop g7, knight takes e3. Okay, this is not working. Eh? So this, or maybe also some other discoveries. So queen moves. I don't know where. d1 and then d5 was my thinking. Even though you can debate if there is something better. Knight takes. Maybe there's too. Well, it is better for black. Yeah? I mean, that is better for black. Like this, yeah. This. Maybe here you can actually do something else. I mean, this is definitely better for black. It's a strong bishop against a pretty bad knight. And this looks more critical at first glance, but now that I look at it, maybe it's actually not more critical. Again, you take, queen takes, and now even the immediate d5 is interesting, but okay, let's go here, yeah? And where is the queen going? We have knight e4 also. I mean, like here I have this one. That's good for black. c5 looks like, for me, a pretty obvious solution to this. You just get this, it has a very natural flow to it. But okay, it's just like my initial idea that I would play in a blitz game, let's say. But let's try to grasp this position a little bit better, not just like see a move, make a move. Often actually the first thought is correct, and I have this hunch that at the end it will be c5 anyway, but let's have a look. b7 is attacked, so it's something to yeah, take note of. I cannot just play like any move. Yeah, okay, I don't play rook b8 or here, or c6 or something. Definitely not. I wonder actually if am I missing something here? Yeah, there are not that many candidate moves, is the thing. Yeah, b7 is attacked, so I'm not playing queen c8 or rook b8 or something when I see a dynamic possibility like c5. We check good and bad pieces here. This is definitely a good piece that we will take. Our knight on e5 is of course not bad, but c5, bishop c6 all of a sudden turns this bishop into a great piece. So this, and let me sort this a little bit. Probably most critical is this one. I just wonder here if there's maybe even something better. Taking, I definitely have to take this. Other queen moves we can think about, this maybe. But I thought knight e4 is good. Like this. That's also still attacked. Nah, here I'm just clearly better. That can never work. Is this better? This is also interesting. Yeah? Knight c7, there's knight h5. And like here, so not a good idea. It's also something to think about after queen d1. If this is an option, the knight cannot take, pawn take. Knight takes. Yeah, it just doesn't work. No, sorry, I think just c5. It is just c5. No, it's just c5. Would be weird if not. Let's check it. Yay, c5. Yeah, it's a supernatural continuation. c5. I missed something. Interesting. Knight c2 is the main line in the book, or what was played actually, because here I missed something. Yeah, that's nice actually. So this queen d1, And here I was thinking knight e4, but a6 is strong because here the knight is trapped. Didn't see this. Okay. So this means that knight c2 is actually mandatory. And then you just take bishop c6. What did I have? Did I continue this line? Knight d5. Yeah, knight d5 didn't work. Queen to e2. d5, knight e4 is also good. Yeah, so I got this one right. Let's just check it a little bit with the engine and see if the engine agrees with everything. Yo, c5 is the strongest move. And now, yeah, knight db5. I didn't see the a6 resource, even though I think I just want to check here. I was thinking knight e4 or d5 is also good. Or d5 is strong, yeah. Okay. Or knight e4, okay. So that wasn't entirely stupid. Even though a6 is a good move to see, yeah, still. Okay, so knight c2, check, check, check. Yeah, okay, knight d5 clearly didn't work. And queen d1. That actually is the main line from the game. d5. d5. Knight d5 isn't actually given. Yeah, maybe knight e4 is stronger. Yeah, now that I look at it, this is. I mean, this is. I'm a bit surprised that the engine says that's equal here, because this position is not equal. I mean, black is okay. It gives black a slight edge at least. Black should be a bit better here because the knight is not well placed on c2, and I have a non-symmetrical pawn formation which should benefit the bishop. So it is definitely a position where I would always take black, but it's not that much. Here knight e4 is stronger, yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, okay, I've done two positions. I hope you liked the form. It's interesting. I think discussing a couple of more strategically minded positions, even though those were relatively concrete. Sometimes the positions are far less yeah, dependent on concrete moves. These times it was more like that. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you do, give me some comments and I'll do this again. It's also interesting for me because, well, I'm solving those exercises and it's good training for me. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.